This is Local 3 News Today.
A former school administrator in Murray County pleading guilty to multiple sex crimes involving children.
Plus, we have updates on 2 different aircraft crashes in North Carolina. But before we get to those stories, we begin with some breaking news this morning. A chase ended in a deputy-involved shooting overnight. We've got the latest. Hamilton County Sheriff's deputies began pursuing a vehicle around midnight on Lee Highway. Deputies managed to forcibly stop the vehicle on Shallowford Road. They say one male suspect was shot but believe his injury is non-life-threatening. No deputies were injured in the ordeal. The TBI continues to investigate this morning. We have a crew headed to the scene right now.
Well, good Thursday morning. We're so glad that you're waking up with us. I'm Michelle Herron.
And I'm Paul Shaheen. Yes, it's a Thursday in June. 90s are in the future, but not today, right, Alison?
That's right. We are still doing those below normal high temperatures today like we've had really all week long. Tomorrow, though, 90 is in the forecast. I did want to start off and give you a little bit of a recap just from the past 24 hours. These are the local storm reports. And if you were watching weather yesterday, we talked about how we had this isolated risk for a severe storm. Thankfully for us, that didn't pan out, but that greater risk was just to our south. And unfortunately, that did happen. Look at this string of hail reports in the purple to those white icons. Those are wind damage reports that swept through Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia. So that severe threat really just stayed just to the south of us yesterday. And again, today, those same folks are under fire because we have this stationary front that is still setting up. Hardly even moved at all. That's why it's called a stationary front, triggering these storms. That's going to keep the worst of the weather today to our south once again, and then all the way over to the west with a low pressure system that'll impact Oklahoma. For us here locally, what we'll be dealing with, well, quiet conditions this morning with a little bit of patchy dense fog. So you're seeing that over to the east. We're getting some developing into Georgia, and once more, not showing up great on this map, but there is that fog along the Tennessee River in Jackson County and lifting up through the Sequatchie Valley that we certainly want you to watch out for. So nice in the morning time, you're going to get a mix of sun and clouds, and then we will just have these hit or miss scatter storms, so a little bit more typical for summertime during the afternoon. Key timing right now looks like from about 2 to 9 p.m. with that scattered activity. And then next up is the point that Paul was mentioning, hot and humid for your Friday and Saturday. High temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. And then we start to talk about scatter storm chances daily. So Sunday all the way through next week. That starts up on Father's Day. A few showers possible in the afternoon to the evening time, but especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, dealing with that chance of rainfall. As far as this morning, we're starting off the day with temperatures in the 60s. One spot at 59 degrees, but 64 in the Scenic City and in Cleveland, Dayton as well, 66 in Scottsboro and in Dalton. We'll take a look at our hourly forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Allison. A former Murray County school administrator has pleaded guilty to statutory rape, sexual exploitation of children, and tampering with evidence. Rochelle Terry made her first court appearance yesterday. The GBI says Terry had a sexual relationship with a student. She also pleaded guilty to 5 counts of furnishing alcohol to a minor. She is sentenced to 3 years in prison and 12 years of probation.
We have new information on 2 aircraft crashes in North Carolina. One involved an Erlanger Life Force helicopter with a patient on board. The pilot has taken full blame for the Life Force crash in March. A report and a letter from the pilot, Alex Fulford, say Fulford was looking down for too long, and when he looked up, he noticed a tree and realized there was no way to avoid it. The helicopter crash landed in Macon County. All 4 people on board survived. There was another crash in Andrews, North Carolina in April. The plane owner hired a private pilot to fly the day of the crash. The report says there were issues when the plane was taking off. It took off slower than normal, started to ascend, then came back down to the runway and bounced before lifting off. Witnesses say they heard the plane's engine get louder and then they saw it crash into the woods. The pilot died in the crash.
We have new information about the Covenant school shooting in Nashville. A lawyer representing the parents of the shooter filed papers telling a judge they have officially given ownership of her writings to a group of school parents. The parents are trying to keep the writings private. Meanwhile, other groups are advocating for them to be released to the public. A hearing to decide if the writings will be released is set for July 12th.
The East Hamilton area is attracting a wave of newcomers, but residents say increased traffic and new developments have become a headache for some. Traffic backups are common on East Brainerd and Ooltewah-Ringgold Road, and resulting delays have inconvenienced drivers for years. Most traffic comes from East Brainerd, Collegedale, and the Appleton area. Residents are calling for city officials to add more traffic signals and additional lanes. Rachel Gentry with TDOT says engineers plan to turn the two-line highway at Ooltewah-Ringgold Road into 5 lanes.
The project will begin construction in fiscal year 2026. We anticipate that the construction will take approximately 3 to 4 years to be complete.
Gentry says the project is in the early stages, but the agency is mapping how the new road work will impact drivers. As far as costs, District 7 Commissioner Lee Helton says county dollars should cover expenses. Commissioner Helton says the plans should be completed in a year, and while they're being developed, his office will hold public meetings every 6 months.
Local residents gave their thoughts on where a new federal courthouse should be located in downtown Chattanooga. The potential environmental impacts of the project were discussed. Some of the potential sites are AT&T Field, the TVA buildings on Market Street, and a parking lot on Lindsay Street. The new courthouse will house 7 courtrooms, 9 chambers, and 39 secure parking spaces that are inside, and we'll keep you up to date as those plans move forward. Time is now 5:06. Coming up on Local 3 News today.
Daniel Penny has been indicted in the death of Jordan Neely on the New York City subway. More after the break. And as we go to break, let's take a look at your Local 3 traffic map. We did have a disabled vehicle we were working on 153. That has cleared. We do not see anything there right now. Let's zoom into that area and just check if it is still there. And it is not. So good news out there right now. We do know that the scene of the overnight deputy-involved shooting, which is Shallowford Road near Waffle House, just east of 153, it is open right now. Traffic is flowing. We have a live camera there. We're going to bring you that within the next 15 minutes to show you that traffic is moving there, but police and deputies still on the scene investigating.
Good morning and a very happy Thursday to you. We are on the tail end of the work week and we have pretty nice conditions outside this morning. Now you are going to have to watch out for some spots of patchy dense fog, so keep that in mind for your morning time commute. But as far as the temperatures go, it's really pretty comfortable outside. We have that mild air that's in place right now, 64 degrees in Chattanooga, 61 in Athens, mid 60s for both Dalton and Scottsboro. And as we look at our hour-by-hour forecast on this Thursday, can still drop another couple of degrees as we head towards 7 a.m., 63. By by 8 o'clock, the sun will have already been up for an hour and a half, and so we'll have that warming trend going at that point. So 67 going up through the 60s, through the 70s, and then hitting the low 80s this afternoon. Most locations today, your highs are going to range from 80 to 84. So a little bit warmer than yesterday and the day before, but this is still below what would be normal for this time of year. Generally today, outside the morning time fall, you're going to have a mix of sun and clouds. So it'll be a partly sunny day, and we will have a chance this afternoon into the evening time for some hit or miss scatter storms. So if a storm comes over your area, expect greater cloud cover and your temperatures to fall with that rain cooled air. Now it could start up as early as noon and 1 o'clock, but mainly that window of time that I'm looking at is 2 p.m. all the way through 9 p.m. of dealing with that activity. And when we're talking about in the days to come, we'll have that 40% chance today, drier conditions Friday and Saturday, and then we'll start to see that spike up once again for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So starting off with Father's Day through the work week of next week, it's going to be a little bit more active with those rain chances, all the more reason to enjoy, well, the heat and humidity that we'll have Friday and Saturday. I'll talk more to you about that coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Allison. We will touch base in a few. Search and rescue operations continue after a boat carrying hundreds of migrants sank off the coast of Greece. 79 people are confirmed dead. More than 100 have been rescued. An NGO says there may have been as many as 750 migrants on the fishing boat.
Grand jurors have indicted Daniel Penny in New York City in the death of fellow subway rider Jordan Neely. Sources say the 24-year-old Marine veteran was indicted on a second-degree manslaughter charge in the confrontation with Neely last month. Penny and Neely were on the F line in Manhattan when the confrontation occurred. Neely was unconscious when first responders reached him. He was later pronounced dead at a hospital. Neely's family says he's struggled with mental illness for years, particularly in the year since his mother was murdered in 2007. Penny's attorney later released a statement saying, quote, "We're confident that when a trial jury is asked with weighing the evidence, they will find Daniel Penny's actions on that train were fully justified."
Coming up on Local 3 News today.
A new law could prevent some people from assessing social safety nets. We'll have details when we come back.
Good morning. Not much to worry about as far as the weather goes this morning. Our only concern for your morning time commute, getting you to work today, or maybe even getting you home from work if you're watching us on a break right now, is the fact that we have some patchy dense fog that's developing. You're certainly seeing that over to the east, even a few spots extending into some valley locations in Georgia. Once again, not showing up well on this map, and I want to make sure you get that heads up. If you're along or near the Tennessee River in Jackson County, up through Marion County, the Sequatchie Valley for Sequatchie and Bledsoe counties, do watch out for some of that patchy dense fog as well. So this is really kind of our only focus for the morning time. Otherwise, quiet conditions for your Thursday morning. A nice one if you want to head out for that walk in the park. Temperatures in the 60s right now as we look ahead to 8 a.m. We're looking at 67 degrees at that point in time with a partly sunny sky. Generally a nice mix of sun and clouds for the entirety of your Thursday. 77 degrees at noon, 83 at 3 o'clock. Now, if you're heading out to the park at 3 o'clock, doing some construction work outside, mowing the lawn, whatever it may be, do keep in mind we will have some scattered showers and storms ongoing at that point in time. I'm going to show you that in just a moment, but first I wanted to go over the high temperatures that we're going to have for the week to come because we will see a little bit of variation. So our normal this time of year is 88 degrees. Today we're looking at a high of 84 across the entire area. Most highs are going to range from 80 to 84. So a little bit warmer than the past couple of days, but still below what is normal for this time of year. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's when we're going to feel that heat, upper 80s to 90 degrees, and then a dip back down Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. That's as our rain chances are going to be going up. So greater clouds, that rain potential cooling off that air. But what will be going up during that period is our humidity. So in the next few days, staying in that humid category, you're going to notice the air is slightly sticky, rising up, especially Father's Day, and then really kind of peaking back into that very muggy category Monday and Tuesday of next week, almost like that initial taste of that mugginess that we would expect in July and August, but we're going to get it in the middle of June. So let's take a peek then of any of those rain chances for the days to come. Here's the radar right now. Again, the stationary front is keeping any of those bad storms this morning to the south of our area. As we run through our futurecast today, you're seeing that mix of sun and clouds for the morning time, and then not really much happening outside of that. There may be a stray sprinkle. There was a little bit of a green blip that showed up there, but overall I think it's going to be nice for your morning through lunchtime. It'll be once we get to about 2 p.m. this afternoon and then continuing through about 9 o'clock tonight that we're going to have these scattered showers and storms that are going to move across our area. Each one pretty small in size. We can pack a punch with that heavy rainfall and that lightning potential. And again, this is going to last until about 9 o'clock tonight and then move out of our area and fade out. As we go from there and look ahead to tomorrow morning, a little bit of patchy fog will be possible in those valley spots, but overall more sunshine than clouds for your Friday. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty nice day with that heat and humidity, of course. As this cold front gets closer to us Friday afternoon into the evening time, it could trigger a couple of isolated showers and storms. That's about it. Saturday, a nice day, mostly sunny skies. You have that heat, very slim chance there could be an afternoon shower, but I think we're going to stay dry on Saturday. Really, that rain returns on Sunday for Father's Day. Quiet in the morning time, but then we'll have some scattered showers and storms heading our way Father's Day afternoon into the evening. So not a washout for Father's Day, but something to just kind of keep in mind if you have plans maybe with dad to eat dinner outside. Have a plan B backup just in case. As for today, again, those high temperatures ranging from 80 to 84 across the area.